What if everything you see, everything you feel, everything you believe to be real is nothing more than electrical signals inside your brain? Pause for a moment and really imagine that. Suppose you wake up one morning and realize that everything you have ever known about the world is simply the result of carefully arranged neural impulses. The warmth of sunlight on your skin, the voice of someone you love, the smell of fresh coffee in the morning, every memory you treasure, every fear you carry, all of it nothing more than signals. Now take it one step further. What if you are not inside a body at all?
What if you are just a brain, suspended in a glass container, floating in darkness, connected to wires, and somewhere a supercomputer is feeding you a perfectly constructed illusion of reality? You would feel everything exactly as you do now. You would believe you are alive in a physical world. You would believe you have a body, a history, relationships, dreams. But none of it would exist outside that simulation.
This is known in philosophy as the brain in a vat thought experiment. And it is not just science fiction. It is one of the most unsettling philosophical challenges ever proposed, because it forces us to ask a terrifying question. How do you know that your reality is real? Thought experiments are not designed to entertain. They are designed to stretch the limits of certainty. The brain in a vat scenario pushes us to confront whether we can ever truly know that the external world exists independently of our perception. Imagine a scientist in a hidden laboratory removing your brain and placing it in a nutrient-filled container. Wires connected to an advanced supercomputer programmed to simulate every signal your brain would normally receive from your body and environment.
If you hear a bird outside your window, it is because a signal is sent to your auditory cortex. If you touch your phone and feel its texture, that sensation is nothing but coded stimulation. From your perspective, nothing would seem different. So the real question becomes, if you were a brain in a vat, would you have any way of discovering it?
Perhaps every memory you possess, your childhood, your friendships, your achievements, could have been inserted. Perhaps your entire identity is a narrative generated by code. This idea did not begin with modern technology. In the 17th century, René Descartes asked a similar question: what can I know with absolute certainty? He imagined a malicious deceiver, an evil demon manipulating his perceptions, creating a false world around him. Descartes doubted everything: his senses, his memories, even mathematics. The only thing he concluded he could not doubt was this: if he was thinking, then he must exist in some form. I think, therefore I am. The brain in a vat thought experiment modernizes that same fear. Instead of a demon, we imagine a supercomputer.
Instead of supernatural deception, we imagine technological simulation. But the philosophical core remains identical. Our senses may not be reliable. And this doubt is not limited to Western philosophy. In Eastern traditions, including certain interpretations within Buddhism and Hindu philosophy, reality is sometimes described as illusion, like a dream from which we have not yet awakened.
Even mystical Persian literature speaks of life as a fleeting shadow, a temporary projection. Humanity has always wrestled with this suspicion, only the language changes. Today, advances in artificial intelligence, virtual reality, and neuroscience make the idea feel less abstract. With VR headsets, we can step into entirely fabricated worlds that feel convincingly real.
Brain-computer interfaces already allow scientists to stimulate neurons and generate artificial sensations. Researchers have restored movement to paralyzed patients by directly transmitting signals into the brain. So the principle is not impossible.
The brain does not interact with reality directly. It only interprets electrical input. It never touches the outside world. It receives signals and constructs a model.
If those signals were simulated with perfect precision, your experience would be indistinguishable from what you call reality now. This leads to a disturbing possibility. If a civilization could create a fully immersive simulation capable of hosting conscious minds, then statistically, it might be more likely that we are inside a simulation than in base reality. Philosopher Nick Bostrom proposed exactly this in his simulation argument.
If advanced civilizations create many simulated universes, the number of simulated minds would vastly outnumber original biological ones. And if that is true, the odds may not be in our favor. Now pause. If tomorrow you discovered that everything, your body, your family, your entire world was simulated data, how would that change you? Psychologically, this idea can be destabilizing.
It can trigger existential doubt, the unsettling sensation that reality feels fragile, uncertain, almost unreal. Some individuals experience this as derealization or identity crisis. If everything is potentially an illusion, then what anchors meaning? But there is another angle. If your experiences feel real, if joy feels real, if pain feels real, does it matter whether the source is biological atoms or digital code? From an ethical perspective, the implications are profound. If the people around you are simulated, does morality still matter? If you hurt someone in a simulation, is that harm real? If the creator of this simulation exists, what responsibility do they bear for suffering inside it? Are they obligated to design only happiness, or is struggle part of the experiment? And what about free will?
If this is a programmed system, are your choices truly yours or predetermined by code written long before you were born? Perhaps the most unsettling insight is this. If you cannot distinguish simulation from reality, then for all practical purposes, there is no difference. Your brain processes signals. That is all it has ever done.
Whether those signals originate from photons hitting your retina or from a line of advanced code, your conscious experience would be the same. So maybe the deeper question is not, is this real? Maybe the deeper question is, what does real even mean? Popular culture has explored this repeatedly. Films like The Matrix and Inception blur the boundary between dream and waking life, forcing characters and viewers to confront uncertainty.
Technology edges closer every year to experiences that were once pure imagination. Projects like Neuralink aim to connect brains directly to machines. We are not there yet, but we are closer than any generation before us. And perhaps that is why this thought experiment feels less like philosophy and more like a preview of the future. In the end, the brain in a vat is not just a scientific puzzle. It is a mirror. It reflects our deepest anxieties about certainty, identity, and control. It reminds us that the mind does not access reality directly. It constructs it. Maybe there is no final answer. Maybe the purpose is not to prove whether we are in a simulation, but to realize how fragile our assumptions are.
And here is the final question, the one that lingers long after the video ends. If you were inside a perfect simulation, and you could never tell the difference, would it change the way you choose to live? Because simulated or not, this experience right now is the only reality you have ever known. And perhaps that is enough.